Football is one of the agendas. Boxing.
This is what I want to come for. Forget football.
Yeah.
What's the news?
The news is
that
fresh off the back of his victory against Otto Wallin,
he's feeling good.
On the 23rd of December. The man is feeling fresh. He's got some new perfumes for Christmas. He's smelling good. He's looking good.
Yeah.
He's now letting his hands go and he's starting to hurt some people once again.
Yeah.
He's taking on former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Blimey.
Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, March the 9th, Saudi Arabia. Bish, bash, bosh. To close out the Riyadh season, we said, if you've been listening to the Fight Night Show and various things that I've been doing, we said that the way that this has all been set up, they would have some type of showcase to finish the Riyadh season, which has been a celebration of all things Saudi Arabia over the last 6 months. And it looks like the showcase is going to be Francis Ngannou opened up Riyadh season with Tyson Fury. He's also going to be on the finale, this time against Anthony Joshua.
Decent.
Now,
what's the dates on that?
March the 9th.
March the 9th.
And obviously before that, on February 17th, we're going to see Tyson Fury taking on Alexander Usyk for the Undisputed Championship of the World, which everybody's dead excited about.
Yeah.
So, you want my thoughts, don't you? You want to get stuck in here, man?
Yeah.
I can see your face light up with the thought of this.
Look, can I say my thoughts first?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay, so look, I'm not no boxing expert, but that Ngannou fella, he seems like a real problem.
Yeah.
Like, did Fury train properly for that fight?
He'll tell you he did.
He did struggle. He did struggle, and he dropped him, and maybe he just underestimated him. So, that was the first outing, obviously AJ is going to be going, do you know what? I fancy him because I can see how he boxes now, and I'll probably knock his head off.
Yep.
But credit to Fury, he had to go in kind of blind.
Yep.
Because he didn't have anything to go on. So this time, maybe AJ gets the better of him, but it's going to be a hard fight because this guy is made of nails, mate.
Right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they made Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, I'm on record saying it's an absolute farce of a fight. I stand by it. It was a farce of a fight. The WBC heavyweight champion of the world should not be fighting somebody on their boxing debut, especially when you have a ranking system littered with many, many fighters of who you could fight. You've chosen not to. You've decided to take a nice, easy payday against the former UFC heavyweight champion who has never boxed in his life before. You take it lightly, and he ends up nearly showing you up. Let's be dead straight. Anybody that was backing Francis Ngannou going into the Tyson Fury fight was backing him because of the power that he possesses. You thought, if you were backing him, not many people were, I most certainly wasn't, but you thought that he might be able to knock Tyson Fury out. He put him on his backside, and most importantly that evening, he surprised the whole world, me included, by showing some serious boxing acumen. The kid shaped up very, very nicely, and he actually looked for large percentages of that fight, a boxer, and outboxed Tyson Fury in key elements of that fight.
Yeah, he looked in control in certain elements.
There's not one person, anybody with hindsight off the back of that now saying, oh, we told you so. No, you didn't tell us. No, nobody told us that. Nobody said that.
No.
Nobody on the planet knew that Francis Ngannou could box like that against that version of Tyson Fury. And I stress that version of Tyson Fury.
I like that.
Because that version of Tyson Fury did not take that fight seriously.
No, of course not.
They'd already booked a fight for December 23rd for Tyson Fury because they thought the first fight was going to be that easy.
Yeah, he was talking about other fights already.
Mate, he was rocking up, didn't take it seriously, and he nearly got found out. Luckily, he's a pretty good boxer, he's Tyson Fury, so he can figure it out on the fly and come through against a guy that has never boxed before. However, that night changed everything. When Frank Warren tells us that there's game changers in this game, technically he is right because of that particular moment. The WBC, for whatever they're worth, has decided now to rank Francis Ngannou off the back of a loss, ladies and gentlemen. Just let me point that out. Off the back of a loss. Yeah. They have ranked him in their top 15. So therefore, now he can become a voluntary for the WBC champion if they so wish to fight for the title. Because if you remember, Fury versus Ngannou was a non-title fight.
Of course.
Because they couldn't sanction
exhibition.
it. Now, we can sanction it now because we want our 3% of the sanctioning fee. That's what they want to do. So they've changed the game for Francis Ngannou. They've legitimised him as a boxer.
Wow.
But let's get straight about this. The element of surprise has now gone. You now know that the lad can actually shape up as a boxer. We already knew that he had the power, so therefore you're going to approach it with a little bit more of a serious attitude. Anthony Joshua, He's coming off the back of a very good win against Otto Wallin. He looked fantastic on December the 23rd.
Yeah.
He's now letting his hands go again. He absolutely beat Otto Wallin into submission. He's feeling himself.
Has he not got a new trainer as well?
He's just teamed up with Tyson Fury's old trainer, Ben Davidson.
Ooh.
It's working. That partnership is absolutely working. Now, Anthony Joshua's noise has been, I want to be a 3-time heavyweight world champion.
Yeah.
And there's likelihood that will happen in 2024 because of the politics of the game. The IBF belt that is connected to Fury versus Usyk will become vacant after that fight. How quickly that happens, nobody knows. Will it be vacant by the time we get to March? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So it's with sense that Anthony Joshua has to do something to keep this momentum flowing.
Yeah.
Why not go and do what Tyson Fury couldn't do? Everybody's got this big thing about Francis Ngannou now. Whoa, he's a big problem for the heavyweight division. Is he? Is he really? Or did he just have the element of surprise on that particular night? My bet is that he had the element of surprise on that particular night. If the Anthony Joshua that turned up against Otto Wallin on December 23rd turns up on March the 9th against Francis Ngannou, he will beat him, and he will beat him handily. And therefore, that creates momentum pushing us forward towards a super fight that we've all been dreaming about at the end of the year. Because what will happen is that AJ will beat Ngannou on March the 9th. He will then propel himself into a summer showdown with Filip Hrgović for a vacant IBF world title. He will win that. And then, at the end of the year, the winner of the Fury Usyk situation, because there's going to be 2 fights. One's in February. Next one will probably be maybe around August, September.
Yeah.
The winner of that double fight will then hold 3 of the championship belts. AJ will have the other one. Do you want to do another undisputed fight at the end of the year? If it's Tyson Fury that is the man that is holding those belts, him versus Anthony Joshua, then all of a sudden becomes the biggest fight of a generation.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
That is how this is going to play out. That is how I think this now navigates itself. So for anybody coming at me saying, well, you weren't consistent here, you were saying that when Tyson Fury fought Francis Ngannou, it was a joke. It was. I stand by that. It was a joke. Now, this, because the game has completely changed over this last 6 months, it has now set up a perfect narrative for Anthony Joshua to go and do what Tyson Fury couldn't do and point himself in the direction of becoming world champion again, of which then sets himself up a showdown with Fury, maybe at the end of next year, for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
Ngannou's performance against Fury is wildly overrated.
Right, talk to me. Go for it, Chris.
Okay.
Because Fury were pathetic. He forgot all about movement, no body punches all night, and he were flicking arm punches all night.
So what you're saying going into this AJ fight, Chris? Come on.
I think, you say like Ngannou's big puncher, Ngannou's never going to be hit as hard as he's going to get it against AJ either.
Do you think so AJ's going to stand and like
no,
have
he
a
won't,
proper
but
tear up
he's
with him?
going to land harder punches on him than Fury did.
Oh, so you think it's just going to tickle him?
Well, Fury were using arm punches all night.
So you don't think he went for him?
So I think AJ should box him. Only way Ngannou will beat him is if he gets overconfident.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go for power, I think AJ might just only tickle him. Because Ngannou can eat a punch, can't he? He knows what he's doing. And he's not easily going to get hit because he's not going to be looking for it.
Listen, I know it's a different style, Otto Wallin and Francis Ngannou. One's southpaw, one's orthodox fighter, right? But having said that, though, Francis Ngannou fought the majority of the fight against Tyson Fury as a southpaw fighter. That's one of the elements of surprise, that he was switching his stances so much. He actually looked better as a southpaw than he did as an orthodox fighter, which we hadn't seen before in MMA. Anthony Joshua just has to do exactly what he did against Otto Wallin. Good foot movement, good range control, and when you get in range, let your hands go, let your bombs go. You can hit hard.
Yeah.
And he's right. What our man Chris is saying there. Box. You don't have to stand and trade. You don't stand and trade with power punches. You box. You box power punches. You've got to push him back a little bit, very similar to what Tyson Fury did against Deontay Wilder. You've got to bully the bully a little bit. Yeah. But Francis Ngannou wasn't doing bullying in the Tyson Fury fight. He was boxing on the back foot. Yeah. AJ's a better boxer than Tyson Fury. A better boxer than Francis Ngannou. I stand by that. And if this is a boxing match and not a fight, he will win.
So AJ has to go towards him.
And then get out of range. Don't stay there for too long. And as Chris
But don't you think Fury was trying that? Fury's really good on his feet, isn't he? So you get in, get out, but he was trying to do it because I remember it. He was trying to get in, get out.
Francis wasn't biting on it. He
wouldn't bite it. Yeah,
he wouldn't go into the gap that Tyson wanted him to go into.
Yeah, and what? So you think AJ's clever enough to get him to get into that gap?
Box.
Yeah.
Listen, listen. You don't have to knock the dude out. It's a point scoring game.
Yeah.
Go and fundamentally beat him. Make sure that it's not one of them contentious ones where everybody's thinking, "Ooh, did he lose that?"
Yeah.
He's won every round.
So just box him in and out.
Stand him on his head.
Yeah.
And then if Francis Ngannou starts to chase the fight, then start nailing him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I like that.
Listen,
I like that. I think that's a good technique.
I know that people will come at me for this and saying that I've got a change of attitude. Maybe it's a new year, new me. Who knows, right? maybe
Don't start all of that. Anyone that says that to me needs to go. Go home.
I'm walking out the studio in a minute.
New year, new me. Go home, man.
Don't be saying any of that nonsense on this radio station. But what I'm saying is that this makes perfect sense for AJ because the element of surprise is gone. The Fury thing. Listen, go and do what Fury couldn't do. And then you set yourself up a super fight. I'll tell you, you'll have a good opinion on this. Pat, how are you?
Pat, the geezer.
Hello, boys.
How you doing, mate?
Happy New Year, geezers.
Happy New Year, mate.
Happy New Year to Jack as well. I can't leave him out.
Yeah, Quizzy Rascal's around somewhere. He'll be here later.
Yeah. Go on, mate.
Listen to me, Adam.
I'm ready.
You're going to be in a bundle of trouble with Frank Rongen. Same as me, because I'm going to have a go now.
Go on, then.
This is a farce. It really is. It stinks of Ern and Rongen together in the sand dunes. You've got Gareth A. Davis walking around holding hands with Frank Warren. You've got Spencer Oliver walking behind them carrying the shopping. All being done again out in Saudi Arabia. Now, I'll tell you something now.
Holding the shopping.
You've got disrespect to other boxers here. You truly have.
Go on.
Now, good luck to young Francis and Guru, and good luck to AJ. But this is a farce. Now, they could end up fighting for a world title. They're going to tell that to Zillian Zhang, going to tell that to Joyce, go tell that to Parker, go tell that to all the boxers that are proper boxers.
Right. Pat, just one sec. It's not a world title fight. It's a 10-round fight. So there's not a world title on this fight.
It could end... listen.
Sets it up.
It could end up.
In what way? Explain to me.
He's going to be freed up.
Yeah, but that won't happen. The IBF will cut... Filip Hrgović is the number one. Anthony Joshua is the number two. Well,
and AJ should be fighting Filip Hrgović, a Frenchman.
I completely agree. I completely agree. But as we stand here right now, the IBF belt holder is Alexander Usyk. So we don't know when that belt is absolutely going to be freed up, do we?
Well, if they're fighting before March the 9th, it could be freed up. And
you're right. Absolutely, because they're fighting February 17th. Now, there's no rule to say that the IBF won't free that belt up on February the 18th, which could happen. But
exactly.
But they've obviously made this fight for the close of this Riyadh season thing, haven't they? That's what they've made this for. I guarantee that the IBF World Championship will not be on the line for this particular fight.
Well, Adam, I'll tell you know, you're like me, Adam. You know you're boxing. That worries me, but I'll take your word on that. But let me tell you something now. Mm-hmm. The true boxing fan is getting ruined here. Mm. Now, I heard things on the radio during the week about the Super League. The Super League is coming. Don't worry about that. Mm. That's going to happen. The boxing is all going to end up in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Now, my kids wanted to take me to see a big fight. Truly, Adam. Mm-hmm. They went, before you go on this Earth, Dad, I want to take you to see a big fight. I said, well, let's hope it's a world champion. They went, we'll see when we get there. But they won't be taking me to Saudi Arabia. Not in my health. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. I could do the O2. I could do Manchester. I could do Wembley. But everything, Adam, is getting taken to Saudi Arabia. And good luck to the fighters, because they're getting good money. And listen, they earn that money because they're getting punched around and knocked around. And I don't say a word about the boxers. But I tell you something now. I heard Gareth A. Davis say to Cole Fox, listen, I was out there, Cole. Look at the picture. Keep on about looking at the picture. Look at Prince so you had dinner with him. Have you done this with him? And Cole Fox turned around and said, God's honest truth, Adam. Excuse me, he went, what about the fans?
Yeah.
He said a lot of fans can't get out there. He went, have you forgot that, Garrett? He went, and I have a lot of my mates come and watch me box. He said they wouldn't have been able to get out there.
Yeah.
Now, let's take that into account, Adam. And people are losing sight of that. They really are.
They are.
Listen, when I was a kid, Adam, my dad drove a meat lorry out of Smithville Market, and the only way I could stop up of a night, if there was a fight on, he'd say to my mum, let the two boys sit down with me and listen to the fight. That was in the 50s.
Yeah.
I used to sit there with him. I knew nothing about boxing. And then I started learning. And he'd tell me this, he'd tell me that. But let me tell you something. I've been around this earth a lot of years. And I can see liberty taking happening all the time. But we turn a blind eye to it because we're working class and nobody listens. But I'll tell you, you mark my words what's coming through here. The boxing game is going to end up like the golf, the footballers are all going out there. There's no respect here for fighters. True, there isn't. And there's no respect for the proper boxing fan.
I agree with the second point on that from a fan point of view. Listen, the fighters are getting paid. The problem here that we've got, Pat, and I'm sure you agree with this, for years and years and years, we've all been moaning about fights that have not materialised. And the reason for that is because there's too much ego and too much greed in the game. Now that is being satisfied by Saudi Arabian money, they are going to make the fights. Now, I 100% agree with what you've just said there, that I think a lot of the big fights are going to be taking place in Saudi Arabia. They're not going to be taking place here, so therefore that alienates a lot of fans. But I think a lot of fans would actually look at this and say, well, at least we're getting the fight and I get to watch it on TV. Because originally, we weren't even getting the fight, mate. How many times have we been speaking about undisputed heavyweight championship fights and we're getting it on February 17th?